My cousin Dauphin gave birth recently to a beautiful baby girl. She has a full head of hair. It's really dark, curly. It's really rich. I mean, the hair makes me envious because, I'm trying to grow a mohawk and also have a little beard. So I'm trying to switch up my look. And unfortunately, I don't have the hair that it needs for a really nice, lush mohawk. And this little baby comes along and she's born fully equipped with an afro. I mean, she's really beautiful and she's really a joy to behold. You know, those babies that just eat and sleep, and beautiful child. Anyway, so wifey and I, that's Patience, my wife. So we got the baby a dress, and another of my cousins who had a baby recently, but who traveled to Makodi for Christmas, was coming back, and so I figured I just give them the dress so that they can deliver it to Dauphin in Makudi, because my cousin Dauphin is now back in Makudi. Makudi is the capital of Benue State, and that's pretty much homestead because we're a TV family. So, so my cousin's back in town. I go to his house and I hand over the dress, and I just told him because at the time his wife was giving the baby a bath, and I had to hurry up because I had to hook up with someone else because we had this social thing we had to go do. So I just handed it over to my cousin. I'm like, hey, this is for Dauphin's baby. And yeah, so that's it pretty much. We just did, and then I left. So now he took the dress, and I think he handed it to his sister who was over there, and maybe he didn't hear me right now, so he's like, oh, it's for Mama Doshima. Doshima is also one of the babies in the family, and yes, I guess you could say we're a fertile family. There have been a lot of babies recently. I think this year we've had, this is January, so last year was I think like for one of my aunts, she had maybe like 4 grandkids, and then another one had 2 grandkids. Anyway, we're just at that stage in life where the babies are coming. So he hands it over to his sister and it's like, oh, this is for Mama Doshima. And she now takes it and she gives it to her sister who is in Kubwa. And what did she tell her sister? I can't remember what she told her sister anyway. But basically, I received the phone call to, the phone call for clarification. Okay, this lovely dress, who is it for exactly? Because Dauphin gave birth to a daughter. I mean, that's the backstory. Dauphin has a daughter, but Dauphin's baby is not the only baby in the family. There are other babies. So calls and so who is this dress for? And then I have to sort out the confusion, and I had to clarify that it actually is for Dauphin, but Dauphin is not in Abuja anymore because she has to resume work in Makudi. So Dauphin is actually in Makudi. That's the capital of Benue State. So, and I told them that the dress is actually supposed to go to my mom. My mom is Grandma Ben. Grandma Ben because it's just like this convention. I mean, during my day when we were kids, we used to call everyone Mama. Every woman will reach a certain age, and you just call her Mama. So there's Mama this and Mama that. But I guess because, we're in cosmopolitan times now, we're in the modern age, we don't call them Mama anymore. So there's Grandma Ben, that's my mom. There's Grandma Awade, that's her sister who has a house nearby. There's Grandma Sylvia, who else? There's Shad, there's just grandmas all over the place. So I was like, okay, this dress is actually for Grandma Ben. When you guys are heading back to Makudi, just take it to Grandma Ben. Grandma Ben will deliver it to Dauphin or Uncle Cletus. Uncle Cletus is Dauphin's father. I think that's where she's staying right now. So anyway, bottom line, the dress was supposed to go to Grandma Ben. Now, why am I boring you guys with this backstory, and what does a sales podcast have to do with dresses for babies? Now, this is what it has to do. A lot of us in our personal dealings and in our business dealings, we do not state clearly what the next step is supposed to be. And when we don't do that, it causes a lot of confusion because people have all kinds of assumptions and filters, and then people hear things differently. So I thought this was relatively straightforward. I just showed up to my cousin and I'm like, hey, what's up, bro? How's the trip? this is for Dauphin's baby, and then I hand it over, and then I leave. And then, of course, he now acts on the information the best way that he thinks possible, and he hands it over to his sister, who is going to be heading back to Makurdi soon. And I don't know what he told her, but then she interprets it another way, and then she hands it to another sister of hers, who actually lives in Abuja, because they assume that Dauphin is going to be back in Abuja after giving birth. They assume that Dauphin is going to be back in Abuja. So because I didn't say clearly what the next step was, there was lots of assumption, and this dress got passed around through, is that 3 siblings? I can't remember the count, but I think so far it's like 3 siblings. The dress got passed along to 3 siblings, and it wouldn't have gotten to the intended baby. That's for Dauphin's baby. I'm not calling the baby's name because I want to maintain their privacy. So because I didn't say what the next step was, there was all this confusion. So it would have been a lot better if I just showed up to the house. I'm like, hey, cuz, what's up? How's the trip? Who is going back to Makurdi? Oh, okay. Alu is heading to Makurdi. No problem. Please give this to Alu. Tell Alu that when she gets back to Makurdi, let her give this to Grandma Ben. And of course, I'd already spoken to Grandma Ben prior. So Grandma Ben is expecting the dress, and so she knows what to do when the dress arrives. That is for Dauphin's baby. Now you can see how that is a little bit more explicit. Now, hey, cuz, give this to Alu. Tell Alu to give it to Grandma Ben. That is real specific. Unlike me just showing up and saying, hey, cuz, this is the dress. It's for Dauphin's baby. Now, some of you are asking, how does this tie to wedding practice? I'm a wedding photographer. I'm a baker. What else? I'm a decor person. Or let's say you're in a different business. I'm a masseuse, I'm a chiropractor, I'm a lawyer. How does this follow? It follows very, very simply. And it's like this. Whenever you're at a critical stage, there's a next juncture, you expect that certain things ought to be done, or certain things have to be done before the deal can move forward. You have to communicate it in the most clearest way possible. Now, I know some photographers who, after they finish the whole spiel, they agree the bride and the groom are in love with what they do, and they just say, oh, so how far with the deposit? They send that as a text message, or that's what they say in the conversation. Now, granted, we have to give those people marks, people who say how far with the deposit, because at least they are asking for something. The average person just, do it, and the bride says, oh, we love it, we're going to go with you. And then photographer says, oh, okay, cool. So what's your wedding date? February 14th. He says, okay, no, I'll put it down in the diary, cool. And then he doesn't say anything. He hasn't said anything about the deposit. And then, of course, he gets surprised when February 1st, he reaches out to say, how far? And then the bride says, well, my uncle said he was going to gift us a photographer. He was going to pay for it. It was going to be free. And so, we've gone with this other guy. And then you're surprised. Don't be surprised, because you didn't say what the next step is, and you didn't make an ask. So people who actually say, how far with the deposit, we have to give them marks because they're saying something. The most people don't say anything. But instead of just saying how far with the deposit, how about making it a whole lot more clearer? For instance, my video guy, Shegun, and this is the exact phrase he uses, after we wrap everything up, he says, okay, cool. So to confirm your date for February 14th, we are going to need a deposit of 200K to be paid by March 14th. He says that, and then he keeps quiet. And then they respond, and then pretty much we take it from there. So you can see how that is a little bit more specific and is going to be able to drive the process along. So it's not how far with the deposit, and then the client feel like they have to come up with a payment plan and a payment schedule on their own. But it's a very specific, the ask is very specific. Now, okay, we're done. We love each other. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to do your wedding video. But to confirm this date, to seal this deal, you guys need to come up with 100K or 250K by March 14th. Specific. Now they know what to do. Okay, to move things forward, let's get that 200K. Let's transfer it to Shegun March 14th. That locks down our date for, look at me, I'm thinking backwards. because March comes after February. So they now know that they have to drop the deposit on February the 14th to secure the date for March the 14th, the wedding date. So that's what the whole dress and everything ties into. That's how it ties into this whole thing for those of us as event industry professionals. So don't make the mistake that I made with Dauphin's baby's dress by just handing it over to someone and not being clear on the instructions. Because there's a clear difference, like I said, between, hey, cuz, this is for Dauphin's baby, and then I leave, and saying, hey, cuz, make sure this gets to Grandma Ben. Grandma Ben will deliver it to Dauphin's baby. There's a lot of a difference there. So we always have to be really clear and specific in what the next ask is. I could have thought of any number of scenarios, but the reason why I thought of the deposit scenario is because it's much closer to what's concerned us most, which is the bottom line and which is the profit. And also it's because from what I've seen, that's the one where a lot of people fall short. Well, I'm not sure who does it the most, but of course, I hang out with lots of wedding photographers and videographers, so I see when we make that mistake. So, oh, cool, you like the work, you're going with me, no problem. I'll note the date down in the diary, and then just keep quiet, and then you're now sad or angry later on when they don't end up working with you. They go with someone else, and then people start saying, that bride is unserious, or she doesn't know what she wants. The problem is with you, the professional. You didn't make a specific ask. So if you don't have an ask built into your framework, you can just borrow what my video guy Shegun does and just say, oh, thank you very much. So you want me to be your wedding planner. So the next step is to secure your date for March 14th. We're going to need 50% payment by February 14th. And now, of course, the bride will ask, oh, how much is 50%? And then you tell her, okay, that 50% is 1.5M. And, you've made the ask. And the conversation is going to move in a much more concrete sense after that. If they don't want to drop that 50%, that 1.5M, at least you've put it out on the table. And conversations now are going to start moving in a very concrete manner. Because you guys have agreed to the total price. You have made a specific ask on a specific date. And now that the total payment is not in question, but just what the next step is, you guys can now start hashing out payment plans and blah, 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 and all whatnot, which is a lot better than you assuming, well, it would be nice to have this money 1 month too, so we can start doing some stuff. But then the bride and the groom are assuming that, well, things are kind of tight, or maybe we have other priorities, so let's just delay all this money and then pay 1 week to the wedding. So be very clear and be very specific about your ask. Don't be like me in your personal affairs. When babies come into the family, be very clear. When you're dealing with your wife or your husband, be very clear. And when you're dealing with your clients, also be very clear on what the next step is and make a very clear, specific ask and let the other person know what it is that you expect of them so that you can achieve the intended goal, whether it's to plan the wedding, to shoot the wedding, or to make sure that the dress gets to your beloved niece. So thank you for listening to the Sales for the Nigerian Wedding Industry podcast. I'm your host, Abuja-based sales consultant and event media professional, Tabishima Ayede. Thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording.